and then so we start killing ourselves. But you don't find that out until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie is just
like the guy with the hot dogs.
Miscast. What Mark Wahlberg, talking to plants and all this weird forced humor that just doesn't work.
You could tell me whatever you want about Mark Wahlberg, but until the day I die, I will never believe he could ever be a science teacher.
He's even talked shit about that movie. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, in an interview he said that it was a bad movie with fucking trees or something like that. That's what he was quoted saying.
Why did he make it then? Did he need the money?
No. If anybody, no, he doesn't.
I don't think so.
I mean, I think at that point in time, wasn't he coming off of an Oscar nomination for The Departed?
The Happening made money. It just wasn't.
You know why it made money?
It wasn't well received.
Yeah.
You know why it made money?
Why?
Because it was the first time you ever did an R-rated movie.
Oh,
and they really played that up in the marketing.
That was R?
That was R.
Huh. Yeah, there is some gory stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kill like some kids and weird shit. There's some cool set pieces in it, but it's just
the very opening of the movie's good.
Yeah.
With the people in the Central Park or the
walking off the scaffolding,
jumping off the roof, which is very disturbing, especially because that was
the dude who lays underneath the lawnmower.
Yeah,
remember that?
He turns it on, he just lays down.
Holy shit! Yeah, there's some eerie stuff in there, but overall, it's just miscast. I love Zooey Deschanel, but she's like, what was she doing in that movie?
Pretty bad,
what was next? Last Airbender. I feel like that was him trying to step away from what everybody was expecting him to do, and that was a disaster. I know they tried to before the release they were like, hey, let's go back and edit this to be in 3D, so it looked like there was a sheet over the fucking
they did the retroactive 3D conversion.
So that was bad. And then After Earth was
like Will Smith trying to get his son to be a movie star.
But then, if you notice, if you go back and you watch the trailers and you watch all the marketing, they had already blacklisted him because they never promoted it as an M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. He didn't even write it.
Oh, no?
No, he didn't write it at all. That was a script already. He just was the director for hire.
They still didn't put his name on it anywhere.
That's crazy.
And then it wasn't until The Visit that he started getting his momentum back. And I feel
that's the one with the grandparents, right?
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen that one yet.
I feel like because that movie was successful, whether you like it or not.
I don't. But then again, we ran it 3 consecutive nights for Comic-Con the year that it came out, so I got pretty sick and tired of it. But he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. He was very personable and everything. And
did you meet him?
Yeah, because he was there to promote the film. So cool. every single night that we showed it, he was introducing the film to the audience every night. But I just like The Visit.
What is it? The little kid?
The kid's annoying. The little boy, he's annoying. Plus, it's the found footage bullshit. I hate found footage. Okay. But Split is very good.
But I feel like he got the opportunity to do Split because of the success of The Visit.
Yes, and you're absolutely right. The Visit was a fairly large hit.
And now
it was because it was a very low budget too.
Yeah, they made that movie for practically, I'm sure, nothing. And it's under Blumhouse, right?
Yes, it is.
He works under Blumhouse.
I wonder if Glass is under Blumhouse. It would have to be because Split is, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so.
I'm sure he's worked out, the rights or something. But yeah, this is fun.
This is kind of more of a breaking down M. Night's career.
That's cool.
But it's cool, yeah.
Yeah,
this is fun.
Well, like I said, I don't know if he always had the idea to do Split, or if Split just kind of came to him and he decided kind of as he was doing it, I'm going to tie it in.
This would be really cool to tie it in at the end.
Well, from what I read, for whatever reason, he was walking around Comic-Con, and him and James McAvoy are good friends, and he got this idea to make Split with McAvoy. And I'm not sure if he always envisioned it to be interlocked with Unbreakable.
I can tell you that the character of the Horde was supposed to be the villain in Unbreakable, but because they were keeping the movie grounded and this was very realistic, they didn't go with that. They just went like with the orange, what they call the Orange Man. If you see the credits in Unbreakable, the maintenance guy in the orange jumpsuit, that's the quote unquote villain of Unbreakable. They went with him, and because they didn't use the Horde for Unbreakable, they eventually, or M. Night eventually folded that in Split when he was writing that. But I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. That's all I was going to say is that that came to him pretty recently. You know, within the last few years, he just kind of had that this kind of inspiration.
Yeah.
I guess, because James McAvoy has shaved his head for Apocalypse, I think, already.
Okay, yeah.
And he got this weird story in his head, and they just kind of ran with it. And because Split was such a massive hit, I'm sure he wasn't anticipating the kind of hit it was, because it's probably as big as what, The Sixth Sense? Would you say?
Yeah, I'd have to see what the final box office on it was, but yeah, Split was a very big hit. Plus, it came out in January, which is usually a bad time for movies. And because there's no real competition from it, it was a pretty big hit, and it stayed around for a while.
Because I tried to go see it for a few nights, and it was sold out.
Oh, wow.
And you never see that.
Yeah.
You know, like lines, maybe for Star Wars or Harry Potter or something like that. But for this kind of, especially them not knowing that it had any connection with Unbreakable at the time, because I went, it was like the first week. I thought that was very interesting for a Blumhouse flick to be generating that kind of ticket revenue. It's very odd.
Yeah.
But impressive, and I'm glad that he's kind of made his way back on top. You know, and I wish him the best for Glass as well.
Well, I know Glass isn't doing too good on Rotten. It's at like 36 or something.
36 right now?
Yeah.
I read good but not great, like a B-.
Like
is
it could
what
have
I'm
been
saying.
better?
Yeah, it could have been better. But then again, if they're expecting, more action, then I don't know what to tell them, because Unbreakable is not a movie that's got any action.
I feel like Glass is more of it's kind of a setup for the big battle between the Horde and David or whatever. So I feel like the majority of that movie is probably, haven't seen it yet, but the majority of it is kind of Mr. Glass figuring out how to break everybody out, and kind of, in the trailers he says he wants everybody to know, like that people like us exist. But that's for me, that's probably one of the reasons why it wasn't received well, at least yet. But I don't know. I think screenings are tonight, right?
Yeah, it should have started tonight. Yeah, tonight's Thursday.
Yeah, I agree with James. I think that it's Glass is now, we're in this world that has already been established, and we get to see the kind of showdown. Yeah. Because as far as I think I said it in the last episode, M. Night said that he has no further plans of going any farther with any of these characters, so this is like the wrap-up, essentially. Supposedly, I would.
Yeah. Well, I would keep it at that. Don't just keep making the movies because you want to, or because everyone says, "Oh, we want to see more of these." If you have the story to tell and you've told the story, that's it. Walk away and leave it.
Don't try to put out extra.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need that.
A funny thing about Split, I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it when it came out on Blu-ray, and the ending wasn't spoiled for me from that whole time of it being in theaters. I don't think, for me, I don't think anyone I knew had seen that movie. Okay. So I think that's why it wasn't ruined for me. Okay. But that ending, so really that last 30 seconds of that, when he's like,
in the cafe,
right? And then I'm like, where are they going with this? This is weird. And then it cuts to Bruce Willis, and I was like, oh shit. And then they're explaining, like, remember that one guy who was like they're trying to remember, he's like, he was a security guard or something. Or something.
Because the news dubs McAvoy as the Horde.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what's...
Remember that one story a couple years ago?
Like, there was a crazy guy that they called something else. What was his name?
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis, David Dunn says, oh, Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
Which I think the dialogue's a little clunky to get there.
Yeah.
But it was a cool little reveal. See, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Split in the theaters because I was like, man, fuck M. Night. I'm done with him. He's done nothing but garbage for the last decade. Yeah. And I was kind of like, whatever. And then I was reading a couple articles online, and they're like, oh, like it's got like a secret Unbreakable connection. I was like, well, what's that? Because I love Unbreakable. That's one of my favorite movies. And so I don't think I've watched it till it was out on HBO.
Okay.
And then I watched it because I had heard, you might have told me, because you probably had seen it before I did.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you know what? Split's really good. And I said, I don't know, because I still don't trust them. And so I watched it on HBO, and I was like, whoa, like, no, that was really good. That was and McAvoy's fucking amazing in it.
Yeah, I mean, McAvoy makes the film, hands down, because, you know, of course that's not easy, doing the multiple personalities. And
especially switching.
Yeah, how dedicated he was to just killing it.
Oh, yeah.
He's so consistent and fun. And it dabbles through, it juggles, you know, humor and this kind of ferociousness, writing that PG-13 like line that a lot of movies try to do, but they can't do. It just feels cheesy. But this one is fine. You know, this one keeps you invested and you have a good time. And then the end is that ultimate payoff. At least if you care about Unbreakable. I'm sure that was infuriating to some people. I heard one of the was Rebecca on Shockwaves when the movie came out. She went to see Split and she fucking hated it all the way through. And then she was like, she's saying this on air that she was like, this better not be an Unbreakable like secret, you know, sequel or something. And then she gets there and it is, and she was just like, motherfucker. I just thought that was super funny. But shout out to Shockwaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else do you guys want to talk about? Oh, let's talk about Samuel L. Jackson. We really haven't covered his role in Unbreakable.
Mr. Glass.
I know you said you thought he was really good, Chris.
I think he's awesome in the movie. I think that this is one of his best roles.
Because, like you said, Samuel L. Jackson is somebody who's guilty a lot of times of just kind of being himself. And getting away with it. And this is one where he is really doing something different. And, you know, he's not cursing. He's, you know, his dialogue is very, how do you say, on point. He's very fun. His twist is awesome. I love how everything is built up and it's surrounding him, even though you think it's about, what's his name, Dan?
David?
David, yes.
Yeah,
David.
David Dunn.
You think it's about him, but it's really surrounding Glass as well. You know, and I really love the opening to the movie where you see the kind of birth.
Oh, the birth of him, yeah. I like the whole, how he's introduced into the world of comics by his mother. Kind of as a, because he's been hurt so many times playing on the playground, and a way to get him out to the playground is by kind of bribing him with a comic book, kind of play for a little bit and you'll get a comic book and you can come back inside and read it. Then when you're done, go play again. And I thought that was a really cool way, kind of
setting
him up, kind of
setting the foreground for the rest of the story. You know, why he's obsessed with comics, why he believes that these, you know, like these fictitious, how do you say, characters can, like, in his mind, he's setting them up to be real.
Yeah.
And he said that, it's mediocre times, and